Members, if we could have quiet in the chambers, please. A quorum is present. Members, could we ask the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our guest chaplain, Senator Mark Leno. After which, please remain standing. Without objection, we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by our special guest, Rosa Salina Vargas.
The American poet John Burroughs wrote, "The lesson which life repeats and constantly enforces is, look underfoot. You are always nearer the divine and the true sources of your power than you think. The lure of the distant and the difficult is deceptive. The great opportunity is where you are. Do not despise your own place and hour. Every place is under the stars. Every place is the center of the world. It's easy to get distracted and look for life's treasures and rewards as something to be found in the far-off future, in another place, or as somehow unattainable in the here and now. However, this is not true. In every place, in every moment, there's an opportunity to encounter the sacred. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu. Blessed are you, Creator of the universe, who has given us life and sustained us and brought us to this time and this place. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Senator Leno. Thank you, Ms. Vargas. Members, we are under privileges of the floor. Do we have any members who wish to be recognized under privileges of the floor?
Former Senator Bob Beverly's son and his granddaughter in the audience today.
Under privileges of the floor, members. Senator Fuller, for what purpose do you rise?
I would like to welcome some visiting constituents.
Without objection.
Members, please join me in welcoming Barry and Caleb Whiten, who are visiting from my district. Caleb attends Valley Oaks Charter School, and we're very happy to have them today. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Fuller. And members, I am advised that the son of former Senator Bob Beverly Jr. and his daughter Brooke are here. Could you join me in welcoming them and ask them to stand so that we can give them a welcome to the chambers. Other items under privileges of the floor? Members, under messages from the governor, messages will be deemed read. Under messages from the Assembly, messages will be deemed read. Reports of the committees will be deemed read and amendments adopted. Senator Corbett, for what purpose do you rise?
I have an adjournment in memory.
An adjournment in memory. Please proceed, Senator.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise today to adjourn in the memory of John Felden, my uncle and my godfather. John was also known as Jack. He passed away on March 15th. He was a 30-year resident of Hermosa Beach, and he was born in San Francisco in May of 1922. He moved to Los Angeles with his family as a teenager. He graduated from Belmont High School and served in the Navy in the South Pacific during World War II. He was one of those wonderful people who used the GI Bill to obtain his degree in electrical engineering. He met his former wife, Jean, in 1949 and raised 5 children, Eveline, John, Carol, Karen, and Mary in San Marino. He moved to Hermosa Beach in 1981. Jack retired from LAWP after 34 years. He was very, very proud of his work there and often shared with me his perspectives that he'd learned working there. Jack loved to play golf. He was a very active senior in Redondo Beach, where he played bridge. He liked to walk the Strand all the way from where he lived to the Kettle Restaurant, where he was known by the staff and many other regulars. And he was often heard to comment when asked how he was, "It's another day in paradise." He's survived by his 5 children, 8 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. And he will be missed by his family and many longtime friends. Members, I ask you to keep him in your thoughts and your prayers, and thank you very much for honoring my uncle.
Thank you, Senator Corbett. Our sympathies to you and to other members of the family and to friends. Please convey the sympathies of the Senate. Senator Ahlquist, for what purpose do you rise, Senator?
Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I would like to adjourn in the memory of Edith Wilkie Edwards, the beloved wife of former Congressman Don Edwards, who passed away Thursday at the age of 64 in Carmel after a long battle with pulmonary disease and cancer. Born in New York in 1946, Edith was a longtime Capitol Hill activist on peace and arms control issues. She directed Congress' bicameral Arms Control and Foreign Policy Caucus for 17 years, and in that time worked to halt the development of new nuclear weapons, strengthen congressional support for the United Nations, and funding for covert military operations in Central America, and encourage human rights improvements around the world. In 1981, after 11 years together, she married Don, a 32-year veteran member of Congress from San Jose. They both retired from their Capitol Hill careers in 1995 and began splitting their time between homes in Carmel and Le Marin, France. Edith said, "We needed to get out of C-SPAN range." They spent the last 3 years in California. Edith is survived by her beloved husband, Don, 5 stepsons, a sister, and 2 brothers and their families. She is also survived by her stepmother and 2 stepsisters. I ask that the members of the Senate join me in adjourning in memory of Edith, a most remarkable and talented woman who left a legacy on behalf of peace, disarmament, and human rights.
Senator Ahlquist, thank you very much. Please convey the sympathies of the Senate to both friends and family.
Thank you.
Members, do we have other items under motions, resolutions? Motions and resolutions. Pursuant to Senate Rule 2910C, the following bill is referred to the Rules Committee. It's file item number 3, AB 113. And members, without objection, a photographer will be allowed on the floor for today's section. Without objection, so ordered. Senator Leno, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
For purpose of introduction.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, it is that time of year again when we are blessed with the presence and the visitation of our friends from Chabad. We have with us Rabbi Mindy Cohn, and from San Francisco, Rabbi Yosef Langer. And this time of year, of course, is as the season of Passover approaches, Passover being a recounting of and a commemoration of the Jews' exodus from Egypt. It's a story of redemption and of delivery, and it is told every season at this time. Actually, both lunar holidays, it and Easter, of course, so they fall within the same week almost every year. And in Jewish tradition, we recall the Exodus through the Passover Seder, which is the order of things, and the story is written in the Haggadah, which is translated to the telling. And it's an important, not only oral, but written history and tradition, so that each generation should tell the story year after year, so that we all remember the bitter tears and tyranny of slavery, which is represented at the Seder table by the salt and the maror, the bitter herbs. The egg, of course, is the redemption, the rejuvenation, the regeneration, and the sweetness of freedom, as demonstrated on the Seder table with charoset, which is a paste made of fruits and sweet honey. So The rabbi can tell you the story much better than I, but it's always our pleasure to be able to thank Chabad for their leadership and their fight for an ongoing preservation of fairness, equality, and justice. So, Rabbi, I'm pleased to present this resolution from the California State Senate. Rabbi Langer happens to be a Giants fan, but that's not part of the story.
Thank you very much, Senator Leno. It's really an honor to be here before you today. I just want to present this little token here to Senator Leno on behalf of all of you to keep this rally going. And as you know, the shofar, which is it's not a traditional time to blow the shofar. However, in Jerusalem, it's blown every day. And this little horn has the ability to move mountains and draw down miracles. So I bless you all that you should have miracles on the home front. As the Rebbe said, community leaders have to put the focus on the home front first. And then the blessing goes out into the street with us. So I bless you that you should have miracles, you should have health, happiness, long, healthy, happy years. God bless you. Charge! Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. And Senator Yee, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
Mr. President, I should also make an admission. This rabbi somehow is a rather amazing individual in San Francisco. A former staff of mine who's a Catholic idolized this rabbi, and so do I. And so when you have a rabbi that somehow brings all of us together, he's an amazing person, and he's someone that I count on quite a bit. He's a little eccentric, too, a rabbi having that Giants insignia, but that's what San Francisco is about. And I just want to acknowledge the contribution that this rabbi has made in my life, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Senator Yee.
Leland may idolize me, but I idolize the bobblehead. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Senator Yee, for what purpose do you rise?
I also would like to make a presentation, if I can do that, Mr. President. Want to acknowledge the San Francisco State Gators women's soccer team. They captured the first ever CCAA championship of any sport for San Francisco State University. They are here to receive this honor. They are led by delegation from San Francisco State. That's Michael Simpson, who's the Director of Athletics, Jack High, who's the head coach, and Mary Trick, who's the assistant coach, and did a remarkable job. And it would take a women's soccer team to lead San Francisco State. And and I have a resolution here in honor of that, and I'm just really proud. They are, in fact, the leader for San Francisco State. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Senator Yee. And Senator Leno?
Join in this celebration. I just want to introduce two of the stars of this very accomplished team. 5 San Francisco State players were named to the 2010 CCAA All-Tournament team, and we have with us today the senior defender, Carly Bliss, who is named Offensive MVP. Carly was selected to the 2010 NCAA Division II Women's Soccer All-West Region team, and this was the 3rd postseason honor for Carly. She was also chosen to the CCAA All-California second team for 3 years and was named SF State Athlete of the Week 2 times. Joining Carly is sophomore goalkeeper Anisha Jones, who was named Defensive MVP. Anisha started in all 21 games while posting a .672 goals against average. .672. She also broke school records with 12 shutouts out of 21 games. Anisha was named to the National Soccer Coaches Association of America All-West Region second team and All-California Collegiate Athletic Team. She has been chosen as San Francisco State Athlete of the Week 3 different times and ranks in the top 25 in the nation with her save percentage and goals against average. In addition, Mariah Johnson, Michelle Spinner, and Sarah Whalen all received honorable mentions for the all-tournament team. Thank you for letting us show off San Francisco and California's success. And the rest of the team right here. Thank you.
Senator Leno, Senator Yee, thank you. The Senate joins you in congratulating both the individual accomplishments and the team success of these extraordinary young women. Members, do we have any other items under motions and resolutions? Motions and resolutions. If not, that takes us to introductions and first reading of bills. Without objection, deemed read. Members, that takes us to consideration of the daily file. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 134 with amendments, Senate Bill 595 with amendments, and Assembly Bill 113 with amendments.
Members, that takes us to Senate third reading, where we have 2 items, file item 8 and file item 9. Senator Huff, do you wish to take up file item 9 today, sir? Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 7 by Senator Huff relative to celiac disease.
Please proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. SCR 7 designates the month of May 2011 as Celiac Disease Awareness Month. If you're like me, you haven't a clue what celiac means, but it's pertaining to or located in the abdomen. In this case, we usually know it as gluten intolerance. It's a relatively unknown genetic autoimmune disease that affects an estimated 3 million Americans. However, 97% of these cases are undiagnosed, and the average delay in diagnosis is 9 years. Clear signs that we must do what we can to raise awareness. There's no known cure other than having a diet free of gluten. It's crucial to raise statewide awareness of celiac disease, educate Californians about the dangers of leaving it undiagnosed or untreated, and encourage people to get tested. We can reduce the number of cases that go undiagnosed and positively impact the lives of those with celiac disease. Designating May 2011 as Celiac Disease Awareness Month will certainly help to raise its profile and help accomplish this. I ask for your aye vote.
Any discussion? Mr. LaMalfa.
Thank you, Mr. President. My understanding that rice is a very good alternative in a gluten-free diet, so I appreciate Mr. Huff bringing this resolution forward here today and for its obviously good health qualities. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other dietary tidbits? Any other discussion? Mr. Huff, you may close.
I ask for your aye vote.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist. Aye. Anderson. Berryhill. Blakesley. Calderon. Aye. Cannella. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. Aye. De Leon. Aye. DeSaulnier. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Evans. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Hancock. Harmon. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. LaMalfa. Aye. Leno. Aye. Ted Lieu. Carol Lieu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price.
Aye.
Aye. Rubio. Aye. Runner. Smidian. Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Aye. Vargas. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee, aye.
Call the absentees.
Anderson? Aye. Berryhill? Aye. Blakesley? DeSaulnier? Hancock? Ted Lieu? Negrete McLeod? Runner. Mr. President.
Ayes 34, no 0. That measure is carried. Senator Correa.
Yes, under motions and resolution, requesting permission for my son Adan to come to the floor.
Without objection.
The floor. Thank you.
The son is coming. Mr. Simidian.
Thank you, Mr. President. If we could return to file item 8 at this time, please.
File item 8. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 445 by Senator Simidian, enacting to public records.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, this is a modest but helpful measure. It simply updates existing privacy protection law as it applies to California's public libraries. 1 million folks a day visit the library. Their privacy there is protected pursuant to a 1980s statute. That statute is simply being updated here so that it's clear that electronic communications and information are equally protected along with hard copy records of circulation and use. That's what the bill does. It provides that constitutional guarantee of privacy that California voters put into the Constitution, not just for paper records, but for electronic records, takes an outdated statute, makes it 21st century and relevant. No opposition. The measure passed 3-0 in committee, and there is support from both the California Library Association and the California Association of Library Trustees and Commissioners. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Simidian. Is there any discussion? Mr. Harmon.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of this bill. If you check the record, will show an abstention in Judiciary Committee, but that was because I was unavailable and was in another committee hearing and the roll was closed. But I think it is a good bill, and I urge an aye vote.
Any further discussion? Mr. Simidian, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, just to clarify, there was initially some question about whether or not this in any way, shape, or form changed the obligations or prerogatives of law enforcement in accessing information appropriately pursuant to a warrant. The answer to that question is no, it does not. The only thing the bill changes is the definition of covered material so that, as I say, it covers electronic communication and information as well as hard copy. Respectfully ask for an aye vote and appreciate Senator Harmon's willingness to speak on the issue.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Any objection to using the previous roll call? Ayes 34, noes 0. The motion carries.
Thank you, members. That completes the 2 items on the Senate third reading file, and it takes us to the Assembly third reading file. We have 1 eligible item, and that is file item 31. File item 31. Senator Price?
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you. Senator Price, 1 moment, please. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 17 by Assemblymember Fong relative to Campus Safety Month.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I'm honored to present to you today a resolution authored by Assemblymember Fong that proclaims the month of March 2001 as Safe Campus Month. The importance of building a safer college campus environment is important to everyone. No campus, no matter how prestigious, is immune from crime. Today, California public and private colleges and universities are serving over 3.5 million students. In 2008, there were over 29,000 crimes that occurred on California campuses alone. With more students in attendance than ever before, our colleges and universities can no longer neglect their duty and responsibility to provide for the safety of their students. For these reasons, ACR 17 was introduced to bring awareness to the importance of creating and preserving safe campuses for the well-being and protection of our college students, and in doing so, declaring March as Campus Safety Month. ACR 17 also encourages citizens to visit the website of the California Post-Secondary Education Commission to review public safety information regarding public colleges and universities. This website provides the crime statistics reported by every post-secondary institution in the state and participates in federal financial aid programs and includes separate data for each campus. The data will help inform students and families on how safe a particular campus is before making an important decision as to which college or university to attend. The California Coalition Against Sexual Assault has partnered with the California Post-Secondary Education Commission, the UCs, CSUs, community colleges, and the Association of Independent Colleges and Universities to promote safe campuses and communities. This partnership will bring cohesion and added transparency to information regarding public safety in colleges and universities. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion, members? Debate or discussion? Members, is there any objection to substituting the previous unanimous roll call on this item? Seeing and hearing no objection, we will substitute the previous roll call. Ayes 34, noes 0. The resolution is adopted. Members, at this time, we will stand in recess for the regular session, and the first extraordinary session will be convened. We are convening the first extraordinary session while the regular session stands in recess. The prayer and the pledge will be deemed complete, and we will take up item 1, SB1. Senator Steinberg, are you ready to present item 1, SB1, in the first extraordinary session? Then we'll ask the Secretary to read.
Senate Bill 1 by Senator Steinberg, enacting partnership academies.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This bill is on concurrence from the Assembly. Just as a reminder, this is a bill that attempts to address two seemingly disparate challenges in California: too many high school dropouts and too few skilled workers to fuel our growing economy. This bill begins to address both. It taps an existing special fund at the California Energy Commission for $8 million, really a pittance, annually for over 5 years to fund 90 California partnership academies in the growing job sectors of green technology and renewable energy, green jobs. Amendments in the Assembly simply clarified the funding stream. Just to give you the order of magnitude here, this small investment will create 90 high school academies that we estimate over 5 years will serve 15,000 California students. 15,000 students with a pathway towards either a college education and or the training to qualify for a high-wage job. There could not be a better investment in California. I'd urge an aye vote so that we can get this bill to the governor and hopefully earn his signature. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Steinberg. Members, is there debate or discussion on this bill? Once again, we are in the first extraordinary session. Debate or discussion on this bill? Senator Weil.
I'd just like to point out that it would be very helpful, since there's always a lot of discussion about green jobs and growing green jobs and training for green jobs, to actually see a list, an actual list of green jobs. And although CT is very, very important, I think it's also important to recognize that green structures, for example, come simply from specifications. There is no course of training that is a green engineer course or a non-green engineer course. There's no course of instruction that is a green plumbing course or a non-green plumbing course. So what I hope this ends up doing, because I think it would be a good thing, although I'm concerned about the source of funding, but it would be a very good thing if we do train more students in plumbing to become electricians and to go into health fields, even though that's not necessarily green. And as long as we recognize that that's what these jobs are, I think that's ultimately a good thing, even though I have some concerns about the source of funding.
Further debate or discussion? Further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Steinberg, you may close.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Just a brief response to Senator Weiland, who I know has been passionate throughout his career about career education. Here's a great opportunity. Here it is in the midst of our fiscal crisis to gain the support of the California Energy Commission for a funding source outside of Prop 98 to help 15,000 young people. And your concern about what is a green job, we thought about that before we drafted the bill, and I would commend you to page 5, line 7 through 39 and the following, page 6, which defines what we mean by green jobs in great specificity. Just to give one example, a clean technology business means energy audits for determining the energy savings that could be recovered through utility bill financing, retrofitting and weatherization activities that increase energy efficiency and conservation. We have a lengthy list here that gets into specifics about what we mean here. We know these are high-wage jobs. We have the chance to reduce the dropout rate and help train the next generation for being net contributors to the economy. It's a great investment. I'd urge an aye vote.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Alquist? Aye. Anderson? No. Berryhill? No. Blakesley? Calderon? Aye. Canella? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? De Leon? Aye. DeSaulnier? Dutton? No. Emerson? No. Evans? Aye. Fuller? Gaines? No. Hancock? Harmon? No. Hernandez? Aye. Huff? No. Kehoe? Aye. LaMalfa? No. Leno? Aye. Ted Lieu? Carol Lieu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Neerguther McLeod? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Rubio? Aye. Runner? Semidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? No. Vargas? Aye. Walters? No. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Blakesley, no.
Call the absent members.
Correa? Aye. DeSaulnier? Fuller? No. Hancock? Ted Lieu? Neerguther McLeod? Runner?
Ayes 21, noes 14. The amendments are concurred in. Members, is there any other business to take up in the first extraordinary session? Seeing and hearing none, then at this time the first extraordinary session will stand in recess and the regular session will be reconvened. Members, we are back in regular session. We are returning to motions and resolutions. Do we have any other items under motions and resolutions in the regular session? There appear to be none. Members, if there is no other business, Senator Steinberg, the desk is clear.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. If that's all for today's session, I know we have a busy week of committees. There'll be a check-in session tomorrow and Wednesday, floor session at 9 o'clock on Thursday. We'll, of course, be on my call throughout the week in case anything unexpected develops. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Steinberg. Members, before we recess, Senator Price, for what purpose do you rise?
Just an announcement, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Yes, Senate BNP is going to meet on upon adjournment, 3191. We only have 4 bills, so be there or be square.
Thank you, Senator Price. And Senator De Leon, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. Upon adjournment, when we're done with the Democratic caucus.
Members, there will be a brief Democratic caucus immediately upon adjournment. A brief Democratic caucus immediately upon adjournment. Members, under announcements, 2 further announcements, please. The Senate Environmental Quality Committee will be meeting 10 minutes after the conclusion of the Democratic caucus. And the question has been asked, is there a consent calendar today? The answer to that question is no. We have no items on consent today. So, again, members, Democratic caucus in the Maddie Lounge. No consent calendar today. The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene upon the call of the President Pro Tem, but in any event on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Without objection, we stand in recess.